Hey guys, it's me Ahmed over here. Yeah, sorry, I don't really know which camera to look at because I'm using a webcam and my phone, but I'm gonna decide which will be which depending on which one looks better. So I just essentially wanted to talk about this because of my experience of playing D&D in ChatGPT. So it was interesting. Not gonna lie. You could, for example, probably do dice rolls. You can't really do dice rolls with ChatGPT. You obviously need to go onto another page and then start doing.
If we wanted to program something with ChatGPT,
start searching for the dice rolls in Google, and then from Google, that's where you actually do the dice rolls. But anyway, so
I guess that would.
I just wanted to talk about. It was really fun. At the beginning, until I realized that it actually wasn't really following the rules. I did start doing some cool stuff. Like initially, I got to do a character which was a pretty fun one and one that I really like, which is like a boxer or a pugilist character. And he, for example, was supposed to be a fighter who instead of fighting with weapons fought with bare hands and grappling. So I took the Tavern Brawler feat and Tasha's Cauldron of Everything unarmed fighting style, and with that I was able to make my boxing character. And like I said, it was pretty fun. I liked it. However, there were some issues, but before that I will explain some of the fun things I did in there. So one of the fun things that I did, for example, was get my character, for example, to actually have a story. So the whole thing started with ChatGPT creating a world where my character began in the fight pits. It began the fight pits, and in the fight pits, he took on the butcher, and he asked me what I would do. So first, I just said. Can we do a flying knee kick to his face? ChatGPT said yes, which I don't think is actually an actual possible thing you can do in 5e. But it let me do that in the ChatGPT option, and it worked. I had to roll for initiative with a d20 and roll. And I use a 2d5, I think, a 2d5 to calculate the damage. And that's the only time they actually asked me to calculate the damage. That's one thing to keep in mind. Or afterwards, I got a chance to finish him off, and I got a chance to kill him or do something else. And I chose to just knock him out by grappling, which I don't think you can do in 5e. I don't think grappling does damage, and second, lets you get your enemy unconscious. I think you actually need some kind of spells or magic to do that, but in my case, ChatGPT let me do that with physicality, which I don't think is legal. And I didn't know that at the time, because ChatGPT wasn't really following the rules properly, which is another issue already. Afterwards, the cloak figure was tailing my character. My character went to get his gold. He went and apologized to the butcher, and they became friends. Then they went out. He left the Colosseum at night. The cloak figure was. I said figure. The cloak figure. Yeah, sorry. I don't. It's a figure, you know. And it was telling my character, watching him, and so I rolled to just sprint dash at them. So they went towards that. They were running again, but then I used athletics to catch up to them and then tackle them to the ground. And it turned out to be some other character with a special pendant, and she kind of like had a mission for my character. And so we went, and so she sent me to a warehouse that had to be snuck in, and the whole thing was actually pretty long and pretty exciting, not gonna lie, but it was pretty but it wasn't very technical, you know. It was more cinematic. My character fought two guards, there were four guards outside. He choked all four of them by sneaking around, throwing objects into crates to isolate the guards. Then he went and sneaked to other guards. And then I had a dumb idea to essentially try to beat two guards at the same time. So my character dropped down from a roof because I thought it would knock them out instantly, but then I just had to go in a situation where I had to reroll multiple high rolls at the same time, and that just kind of put my character in a position where he was unable to knock them out properly. So eventually I just managed to choke them out one by one. But he tried to choke one out with his arms and the other one with his legs, his thighs. And that was pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that failed. Well, it didn't fail, it succeeded. But not the way I wanted it. I wanted him to knock them out at the same time, either by dropping down on them or by choking them with his legs and arms. Which again, it did try to let me do that by doing very high rolls, but I don't think that it was a legal thing for me to do. It was against the rules. I don't think any of these enemies actually had stat blocks, so no wonder my character was just steamrolling most of them. Now, I say steamrolling, but some of them did make him work for it. Then he went in with the other character, who I think her name was Ceres. And again, ChatGPT just make them react to my character like he was the top shit, but he wasn't really. But see, it was fun. And then they had to sneak in the warehouse, so my character told Ceres to go attack the smuggler, because he was a smuggler. And then my character went to a rooftop, and then there were two armed guards in there, and he dropped down and slammed into one of them. He fucking knee dropped onto the guy like he was Teen Titans Robin, practically speaking. Fuck. And into the table, which knocked that guy out instantly. And then I only got to fight the other guy, and I tried to get my character to clinch him, but that failed. Instead, it only made him easily able to get stabbed. Then I tried to fight him again. I got a low roll. I got really bad rolls. My character just got cut, stabbed in his rib and his bicep and all that stuff like that. But eventually, he managed I just stopped doing fancy shit. I just asked my character, my character just gonna try to knock him the fuck out, and it worked. He knocked the guy unconscious, and then he went after the smuggler because I think Ceres was already getting taken down by the smuggler by herself. So my character went in there, charged like a raging bull, tackled the guy in the back, and then slammed into a wall, and it worked, but didn't do much damage. But it did get him off Ceres, which was the character of one of the NPCs that was the one who gave my character the mission. And afterwards, my character started trying to fight him, and I was getting low rolls again, and I was getting stabbed, and I almost got defeated. Until eventually I cheated and just told ChatGPT to do a high roll, and then he knocked out the smuggler with a crescent kick, with a crescent flying kick from his heel, and knocked out the guy instantly. Which again was fun. It was fun, but against the rules again. So yeah, that's pretty much it. After that, he just my character and Ceres just interrogated the smuggler. They investigated the warehouse, and then they took him to the station to get arrested. And my character had to do a long rest because he took a lot of damage. And it should be noted, they didn't have much character to them, the smuggler and Ceres. They were all human. They were non-D&D races in there. Like I said, it was pretty fun, but there were a lot of limitations to the game. But it was a very fun campaign, though, short as it was. But I have to specify ChatGPT a lot of things, remember my character sheets, stat sheets. Remember you have to follow the rules. Remember that there have to be fantasy elements. But It was a very fun crime drama, superhero X stuff as well, and it was very fun to run a character that was basically just a hand-to-hand pugilist fighter, like MMA style, not a kung fu guy that you usually see in Monk, but it was more somebody who punched, kicked, received hits, and was able to survive them. And like I said, it was very fun, but it was very good, but there were a lot of problems with ChatGPT, and obviously I'm using the free version, not the paid version. But it did have a lot of and it basically played almost like those old CRPGs that were just text, or just a text game, or the old AI Dungeon, which I think at this point AI Dungeon just fucking sucks, really. But it was fun in the past. But again, it was fun while it lasted, and it was a very interesting setting. First, it was a noir, dark noir. It was weird, but it was definitely something fun and interesting that you wouldn't get in somewhere else. I'm actually gonna end it up here because I think I already said everything that I had to say. It was fun. There was a lot of things that my character could do. It didn't follow the rules very well, but it has a lot of potential. Like if you want to program something with ChatGPT, if we wanted to program something with ChatGPT, well, this was the way to do it because it was very entertaining game. So I guess that will be it. I'm Leonardo Sun, and I'm glad you have fun.